Hello, I'm Jason Prather, a firearms enthusiast, deputy sheriff, and content creator for Bed Armament. Today I'm going to be detail stripping and cleaning a Glock small frame, full size. This is going to be the equivalent of a Model 17 9mm or a 22 40 cal. Same for the 357, whatever that one happens to be. Last time we did a field strip and clean. This time we'll be doing a detail clean. Did my editing on my last video, so I think I figured out how to make this one look a little bit better. Please bear with me though. Alright, so we have a 3rd gen Glock Model 22. This was my dad's duty weapon that he retired with. Let's get to cleaning it. Alright, so really simple. Alright, I'm going to get a little more comfortable because I stood for almost the last video. Alright, so field stripping the Glock, push the striker out of the way, pull the striker sleeve down. I can't do this quite so well on camera. Slide the back plate off, remove the tool, out comes the striker, safety spring, extractor, safety plunger. Actually, that came out a lot better than I expected. Dad was not wonderful about cleaning his duty weapon. Alright, going to start off with some Kroil. Wipe down the outside pretty well, get most of the gunk and grime off. Now that the slide is wetted, I'm going to take and brush it down pretty well. Now you don't actually want to spray inside of the slide. Any fluids could build up inside the firing pin channel, the striker channel, and cause a misfire. So we don't do that. We'll go back to brushing. Q-tips are really handy for getting into these small holes and odd corners. Just get in there and spin them, move them back and forth, just anything to try to get the debris dislodged. So that gets the slide pretty well taken care of. Now to move on to some internals. Take the striker and take the spring cups off, spring, striker sleeve. Can give the striker a good wipe down. Just going to need a little brushing here. And the striker's pretty clean. Now it's going to wipe down the spring real good. It's important most of these parts stay pretty dry. Just for giggles, going ahead and clean up these spring cups. And reassembling the striker assembly. Moving on to the safety plunger. And now working on the extractor. Extractors can get kind of nasty, so it's definitely a good idea to give them a good brushing down. There's a lot of little places that they can collect dirt and trash. They're not the easiest part to clean. So we're going to start with a brush, going to wipe as much crud as we can off of them, and then I'm going to pick up the Q-tips. One last wipe down before reassembling it all. Drop in the safety plunger, the extractor, safety plunger spring, striker, and back plate. And slide is complete. Alright, going to move on to the barrel. Brushing off the breech face because that's just a very nasty part. My other video about just the field stripping of a Glock will go into a little more detail about the cleaning. This is just going to be a quickie. Alright, finishing up the barrel. Nice wipe down, going to wipe the spring up. One last wipe on the slide. Barrel, recoil, spring. A couple drops of automatic transmission fluid just to help keep the spring clean, lubed, and rust free. And that'll work on the frame. I'm going to start by driving out the front pins, then the trigger housing pin. Out comes the barrel hinge. Alright, this is going just a little bit fast to describe, but if you've ever done this before, it should be pretty familiar. Going to brush out the mag well area. This is a lot like field strip cleaning, however, there's fewer parts in the way. Alright, just for fun, we're going to take out the slide retention, or the barrel, slide retention mechanism. And the spring, just for a little bit more room to work right in that corner. Give it all a good wipe down. This gun's actually remarkably clean, or at least cleaner than I expected. Now working in all the small areas with a Q-tip. And that has the internal pieces cleaned up. Time to put everything back together. Just gonna have to double check because I always get confused whenever I put in the barrel retention. But it slides in easy enough. Drop in the trigger housing and trigger bar. Time to start sliding the pins in. The upper pin is important to go in first. Then the slide stop lever and the actual trigger pin. And I save the trigger housing pin for the last. One last wipe down to get everything nice and clean. And reassembling and checking for function.